What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, the truck is back. I hope the mowing in the background isn't too distracting. We won't be here long, guys. The transmission, we finally have a built transmission. The truck is running great. We're gonna drive this thing around just a little bit. We're still breaking in that transmission before we do a full throttle pull for everybody, but that time is also coming as well. So we're losing sunlight quick. We're gonna hop in the truck, get going, guys, and I hope you enjoy the vlog. But first, before we get started, guys, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Helps the channel out a lot. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and drop your comments down below, guys. What do you think of the built transmission, the parts we used, which I will go over towards the end of this video? And also, what's your experience been with any built transmissions? What do you guys think? Anyway, guys, let's get going. Okay, so guys, we are losing sunlight fast. I do apologize. I hope the lighting is okay now. So the built transmission is back. So now what you guys are probably wondering is what all went into this. We'll get the boring stuff out of the way first. Parts that are OEM, the pump and all the solenoids are all OEM parts. They're Ford Motorcraft. And we used a GPZ clutch kit, and then it has basically a master rebuild kit, which is pretty standard. Well, the OEM stuff we got from Ford, and the rebuild kit and the clutches we got from Suncaost. I got to do a pull here, guys. So I said because the truck shifted into overdrive, then it did downshift then. That was by no means a full throttle pull, but that was pretty fun. Fastest 40 miles an hour you will ever go right here in this transmission. But so anyway, the truck performing flawlessly, drives great. The shifts are nice and firm, but they're not over the top. They're not too aggressive that you feel like you're damaging your transmission as they're going through gears. So very, very happy with the shifting. Now back to the build of this truck, or of the transmission, excuse me. So the transmission we got over the boring stuff. Now on to some of the fun stuff here. So we have a transgo shift kit in it. And then we have the real fun stuff that everybody really wants to know is what billet parts did we go with? And that's all of them. We went with every billet part that I'm aware of to go on this transmission. So we have input shaft, intermediate shaft, the rear hub, and the overdrive planetary are all billet. Now also, Suncaost makes a no-walk center support that is really freaking cool. And basically it addresses some of the center support issues that this transmission is known to have. I'm not sure what other people that build these transmissions do, but I will say I feel a little bit better after doing some research and seeing how big of a concern this center support is. I'm happy it's in my transmission. It makes me feel good. And I know that it's just extra security on this truck, on this transmission build, that we're not going to have issues. We also went with a BD deep cast aluminum pan, the real thick guys. That'll help add some rigidity to the case itself, along with that Suncaost center support will also do that. And that's why we were able to keep with the OEM clutch, or not clutches, the OEM solenoids. We don't need an upgraded one. And we'll get into upgraded solenoids at a later point in this video because I already know I'm going to get questions about it, so I want to give my opinion on what I think of them. So here's why I didn't go with upgraded solenoids, and there's two reasons. One, I don't necessarily see the point over having a more aggressive tuning in your valve body. It's already electronically controlled. So maybe if you didn't want to run tuning, you would do that because you wouldn't have a way to increase line pressure for the transmission, and the solenoid would do that. But your tuning can take care of all that. So I don't necessarily see the point in doing it. I did speak with Greg about this to see how he felt on it, and we kind of both had the same conclusion. If you run the upgraded solenoid, then you have to tell your tuner that you're running it, and all they're going to do is pull some of their transmission tuning out of the tune, at least the part that increases line pressure. So why do it in the first place is kind of where Greg and I decided. That's where we settled anyway. So really the only point I can maybe if you didn't want to run tuning and you were having a 3 to 5 shift flare, then it would make sense to me. Otherwise, guys, I wouldn't really worry about it because I don't think you have anything to worry about. Now, the other reason I don't like them and why they're not in this transmission is because, one, we've addressed the 3 to 5 shift flare as a whole. What it is there's torsional flexion in the case, and that causes the 3 to 5 shift flare as certain ports don't line up like they used to, and the no limit, or not no limit, I'm thinking about my intercooler pipe, and with the Suncoast no walk center support, that helps to address that, keep everything lined up. Also, with that heavy duty cast aluminum transmission pan is also adding more rigidity to the case. Plus, we're running custom tuned, so they're already increasing line pressure. So from all my research, talking with Greg, the guys at Suncoast, what they do, I don't see a point in putting them in this build. Now, just because I don't see a point in this build, it doesn't mean that they're not something to consider for other builds. I obviously do not know everything, but from what I can tell, I don't really see the point, to be perfectly honest, especially everything that's done to this transmission. Now, talking about the torque converter, there were some changes from the last time we talked, because previously I said we were going to keep with a stock stall, and that is no longer true. We did up the stall to 2200 RPM, which is about 400 over where factory is, so we're about 400 stall higher. And I can tell you, daily driving, I can't really tell a difference. I want to say at first I could tell just a little bit of a difference, but since then, now that I have about 150 miles on it, I can't tell a difference anymore. So, for whatever that's worth, guys, it should help us at the track, though. It should help us cut a better 60-foot time, which is huge with the automatic transmissions as far as end time. You know, you don't have in-between shifts, and this thing shifts pretty quick. So we shouldn't have issues there. This should help us give, you know, maybe bring our 60-foot down to like a 1.7, or I'd love a 1.6. If there was some chance that we could cut a 1.6 60-foot time, I would say by the end of the season we could very well be looking much better on track times than we thought possible. Getting down pretty deep into the 12s is what I think could happen. We'll see. Don't hold me to that. Just something to consider. Now, the torque converter itself, hold on, we got to do another pull. That is fun. That's all I can say is that's fun. So back to the torque converter. The torque converter is a billet triple disc torque converter. So very heavy duty unit. Again, with upgraded, well, not upgraded, we upped the stall a little bit. It's a local shop that builds it. And let me tell you, this thing is awesome on, like, it doesn't slam when it locks up. This whole setup is just super, super nice. I'm really loving it. I have heard of guys say when you have a built transmission about them being not very fun to drive or having issues with daily driving them. Not the case with this. And it wasn't so much that the transmission, like, you couldn't daily the transmission, as it was that it wasn't as fun to daily because it was slamming into gears, and you don't get that with this. I just plain don't have that with this transmission right now. That is not an issue at all. So other than that, all I can say is this thing pulls great. I mean, wow. The turbo woke this truck up. The transmission definitely feels like I'm getting all of that power down to the ground now. And I think the old transmission was probably in okay shape. And if you probably weren't going to do all the nonsense I'm doing to it, had a little bit, you know, maybe just a stock injector truck, it would probably be fine for a while. There's probably another 75,000, 100,000 miles of life in it. But just for what have going on here, yeah, that's not the case. So guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this upload. Sorry for the delay in getting videos to you guys. We're gonna get back on schedule. We have a tune review coming of the TSD tune I'm currently running, and as soon as I get my boost gauge, we're gonna also have plenty of information on this turbo, boost numbers it's hitting with this current setup, and also we'll carry that future. If you enjoyed this upload, give this video a big thumbs up. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Drop those comments down below, guys. I'll see you in the next upload.